Fracture and repair of bone. A fracture is any break in the bone, although different fractures are of different severities, depending on the shape or position of the fracture line. Unfortunately, stress fractures can occur without a physical break of the bone. Stress fractures can occur in healthy adults through repeated taxing activity, such as jumping, running, or even dancing. These small microscopic stress fractures can be quite painful and can lead to certain bone diseases such as osteoporosis if the fracture is left untreated. Fun fact, about 25% of stress fractures can occur on the tibia. So when we fracture bone, how does the body fix it? Well, there are about 3 steps to rehealing a fractured bone. The first step is called the reactive phase. During the reactive phase, inflammation occurs due to broken blood vessels across the fracture. As a result, a fracture hematoma arises, which is a mass of blood that forms around the site of the fracture. This usually forms within 6 to 8 hours after the break. Due to the disturbed blood flow to the bone where the fracture is, bone cells start to die. These dead bone cells are then cleaned up by neutrophils and macrophages. Osteoclasts further break down the dead cells on the area of the fracture. This phase can last for several weeks till the next step, the reparative phase. In the reparative phase, blood vessels grow into the fracture hematoma. Fibroblasts from the periosteum start to produce collagen fibers as well as chondroblasts, which start to make fibrocartilage. This area eventually becomes what's called fibrocartilaginous callus, which is a soft mass of repair tissue made of collagen fibers that connect the 2 separate pieces of bone. This takes about 3 weeks to form. After this fibrocartilaginous callus forms, healthy bone tissue around it and the bone start to develop into osteoblasts, which then produce spongy bone trabeculae, which is important because the trabeculae connects the living and the dead bone parts of the remaining bone until the fibrocartilage is turned into spongy bone, which is then called bony hard callus. The final step is remodeling of the bone, which is when dead portions of the bone that were connected to the formed trabeculae is reabsorbed by the osteoclasts, and then spongy bone eventually becomes compact bone. The aftermath of most bone fractures is the area of breakage. A thickened area of bone forms to further protect that once injured area.